So I'm going to cover just a few of the basic points that we want to talk to our colleagues around the world with when it comes to 3D. The 3D Society was formed 4 years ago, 60 companies and about 800 professional 3D content creators in order to advance the arts and sciences of 3D. Next. Here are the top 10 box office movies of all time from a Hollywood perspective. 8 of those top 10 movies are either 3D movies or have been re-released as 3D. Notice number 10, that's Iron Man. Iron Man 3 in 2 weeks has generated $1 billion worldwide. 2 weeks, $1 billion. 50% of those movie tickets in 3D, accounting for a fair amount of that gross. Next slide. Here are the 2013 3D movies from Hollywood. There are about 41 movies that have been announced for the balance of the year, and they include all the majors. Superman, Man of Steel, The Great Gatsby, Star Trek Into Darkness, Iron Man 3, World War Z, the new Brad Pitt movie, Pacific Rim from Guillermo del Toro, Thor 3, Wolverine, Oz the Great and Powerful, which has done about $600 million for Disney, Gravity, The Hobbit, Monsters, Inc., and all the major directors. Steven Spielberg's announced that he will produce the next Jurassic Park 4 in 3D. Star Wars with J.J. Abrams out in 2 years from Lucasfilm will be in 3D. So 3D's not going anywhere, contrary to some of the reports. India, more than 20 3D movies this year in India, and more than 20 in China. Next slide. Iron Man 3 has done $1 billion in 2 weeks. The Great Gatsby, Hollywood Reporter projected last Thursday or Friday that The Great Gatsby would do between $13 and $15 million its opening weekend. Most of the projections were $25 to $30 million opening weekend. Great Gatsby did $51 million in its opening weekend, shocking everybody. Iron Man was number 1 at the box office, second week in a row at $70 million. So between Iron Man 3D at $70 million and The Great Gatsby at $51 million, you had $130 million of last week's North American box office coming from 3D movies. 18 major summer 3D movies. May will be the biggest 3D revenue month in history, the biggest this month. This will be the biggest summer in history. The North American box office record is 2011, $4.4 billion. We just announced some forecasts this week. We're projecting that Hollywood will break its summer record of 2011, will exceed $4.4 billion in large part because the additional revenues coming off of 3D premium ticket prices. Next slide. We're projecting $5 billion in North America revenue just from 3D tickets this year. $12 billion worldwide in 3D tickets. To give you some comparison, last year the entire worldwide box office was about $33 billion. So about 1 in 3, about 30% of the revenues worldwide, as much as 30% will be 3D premium ticket prices. It's important to note that Great Gatsby, not unlike Life of Pi, is a new genre of 3D movies. And it's important because when it comes to the Avengers or Star Wars or Star Trek, the young 12-year-old boys, the people that love action adventure, they're already sold on 3D. Our goal is to get adults, women, people 25 plus, to engage in more drama, romantic comedies. 69% of the attendees of Great Gatsby this weekend, opening weekend, were over the age of 25. 69%. 33% of the tickets sold in North America for Great Gatsby were at the premium 3D ticket price. So 1 out of 3 for a drama. Next slide. China, we can't discuss anything unless we talk about China. China's now become the second largest movie market in the world. Up to 80% of tickets in China for any movie are 3D tickets. When it comes to 3D adoption, 50% of the households in China have watched, that have TV, have watched some form of 3D TV. So China is a market that is a huge believer in very enthusiastic consumers when it comes to 3D. Here is a survey that was done in China. Our chairs in China are the Beijing Film Academy and CCTV, and it shows you by genre what Chinese consumers go to the movies in hopes to see. Action, sci-fi, love story, comedy, drama, suspense, war, catastrophe, animated fantasy, documentary, song and dance, don't know. But you can see that because the incredible number of action-adventure movies have come along, there is great consumer interest in those. Our goal is to grow some of these other areas like documentaries, etc. Next one. We do worldwide competitions. We have them in China, Japan, Korea, North America, and Europe, and we can gauge how much content there is by how many people enter our awards competition. So if you look at our worldwide picture, the EU and the UK probably have more 3D production underway than any other specific region outside of the United States. China is rapidly growing. This year we anticipate, we've been told by our China committee, that there'll be more entries for 3D this year from China, maybe double what they were last year. Japan and Korea down in the lower numbers there. This is an article from Adweek about the consumer electronics this year. We've seen the future. It's 3D, it's mobile, and it's waterproof. Here is a story that was in the news this past week about Amazon. One of the devices is a high-end smartphone featuring a screen that allows 3D images without glasses. This is the new Kindle Amazon cell phones that are being developed. So just this week in the news, Amazon developing a 3D smartphone. This is Microsoft. This is a story that came out a week ago that Microsoft is developing an opportunity for people to capture and view 3D images, along with options to share those creations on Facebook, Bing, or publish them on websites, and offers two styles of 3D experiences, panoramas and Sense. This is being developed by Microsoft to be a part of their next Windows software. In the United States right now, there's a new advertising campaign on network television promoting the new E-Series Mercedes-Benz that's equipped with stereoscopic 3D cameras that allows the driver to anticipate where people are in front of them or behind them on the car. So we're starting to see 3D promoted to the public as an amazing benefit of some pretty remarkable new automobiles. This is a slide that shows you the 3D penetration by the number of millions of households in the United States that are carrying 3D content. We're in 2013. It's about 17 million. The expectation is out of 100 million U.S. households, we'll have about 61 million with 3D TV sets by the year 2016. It's a lot faster to convert cinema screens worldwide than it is to convert hundreds of millions of TV households, but it's happening. This shows you the adoption in home by country of 3D TVs. So this is a global survey that shows you people who have 3D sets in their home, how many of them have turned those sets on and have actually viewed 3D content. Look at China, 50%, over 50%. So again, we look at these numbers and it just shows you the Italy is very high. Behind that, Germany, then France, and I think the UK, and almost at the very end, lowest is the US at about 10%. Why are people making this effort? Why is DreamWorks? Why are people committing to making 3D? Here's the research that we've done, but it's been done by the cable industry and the motion picture industry. 71% of people watch 3D say it surpasses 2D movies. 31% says it's incredible. 57% say it makes them feel a part of the action. Half of them say it makes them closer to the characters. It builds a stronger emotional bond with the viewer. This is a movie that's getting a lot of buzz. It's in production right now in London. But we talked about Gatsby, Life of Pi, maybe Hugo before that. Movies that are targeted to women, to adult couples. This is the next one we've all got our eyes on. It's Gravity with George Clooney and Sandra Bullock. Comes out in October, but the buzz for that movie is extremely strong. We're hearing great things about the 3D and the possibilities for that movie. How does 3D work? What does it do that makes it more interesting? The eye doctors at Pacific Oregon University in Portland showed a group of people 2D and 3D content, the exact same content, but tracked where their eyes went. On the left, you'll see that the eyes were scattered all over the 2D screen. On the right, you'll see that the eyes were on the actress and on the content. So what we're learning is what you're able to do with a 3D piece of content is you can direct the attention of the viewer in a far more specific way. Let's talk a bit about 4K because it's an important part of the discussion. 4K is coming to TV. All the major manufacturers are involved in it. It provides a better 3D picture. It enables better auto stereo, glasses free. The cable industry is looking at it very closely. There are 50 major manufacturers making 4K TVs beginning next year. We expect single-digit growth in 2016, so it's going to grow slowly, but coming into the marketplace. That's seeing is believing, and I thank you very much. I'll turn it back to Jacques.